I was also taught every morning to wake up and question what you think you know, because there's always something there that can change your, it could be one little thing. And I think, again, one of my favorite statements is facts do not cease to exist just because they're ignored or not known. Facts do not cease to exist just because they're ignored or not known. Facts do not cease to exist just because they're ignored or not known.
Thank you, Matt, for that candid introduction. I want to address two topics today. Number one, question what you think you already know, specifically about the back foot coming off the ground and also about the head tilt, keeping the eyes level or on plane. Every athlete has a certain composition, a composition that was specifically designed for his or her body. How they want to perform athletic actions sometimes are determined by their natural wiring, their neuroscience. Sometimes we can manipulate these movement patterns and think we're going to try to make it better for that individual. Here's an interview with a Major League hitting coach talking about Bryce Harper. And he talks about how if Bryce Harper keeps his back foot on the ground, he'll probably hit better and see the ball better. After 29 years of my own hitting research, I question that philosophy.
K-Long, Mike Lowell here. When you say that the back foot, I find that really interesting because I think when he came up, he was like major attack mode. Is that something specific that you say not to be so linear and be more, I don't know, what's the term that you would use? How would you profess that to someone to kind of think about just keeping that back foot in place?
Yeah, because, I mean, he has a tendency to want to go get the ball and jump out there. And if his back foot kind of holds and he keeps his energy on his backside, he's going to control his head and his movements a lot better.
Now what he's doing, he's kind of sitting back a little bit and he's sitting down, and watch his hips as he comes out stronger. And that back foot, that's a power slide. When that back foot is off the ground, that's a power slide.
Question what you think you know. Every player has a natural athletic disposition. Sometimes we can encourage players to try another pattern or try a new technique, but I want to caution you as a fellow hitting researcher not to disrupt the hitter's natural athletic disposition and force him to do something that's not right for him. If you watch these clips very carefully, hitters who have their back foot come off the ground still maintain their head over their stomach, over their pelvis. The problem is when the head gets out over the front leg when players are hitting. In those cases, there may be a disruption in spatial depth perception. Let's talk about keeping the eyes level and the head on plane. True or false? Does everyone need to do this? While you're listening to the reporter talk about this, watch the hitting clips of Ricky Henderson, Dave Parker, Alex Rodriguez, and Albert Pujols.
And just letting everything work around him with a still head. We talked about this with Javi Baez. The guys that have a lot going on in their swing, whether they're guys that start tall and sink down, as long as your head and eyes stay on planes, and you can recognize pitches, which Bryce Harper does to the nth degree.
Head tilters, Alex Rodriguez, Albert Pujols, Dave Parker, Ricky Henderson, and Bryce Harper are all head tilters. What is your natural athletic disposition? I personally did this when I was in high school. It felt like my eye was looking straight down a tunnel, and I found it easier to be fixated on the ball. These are all examples of prolific hitters. Next, we are in the hitting age where hardly anyone crouches down. The interviewer talks about how he does not like players who crouch down. He feels you lose the feel of your barrel. Well, I wouldn't want to tell that to Ricky Henderson, Hall of Famer.
Lauren, I always felt that the guys that sunk down lose sight of where their barrel is at times. I feel like the guy, you want to stick your nose in, you start getting down, down, down into your lower half, you kind of lose where your barrel is. And Ron can tell you, the guys that really duck down, you feel like you can get in on them.
2 comments. Players, trust your natural athletic disposition. Coaches, give the players options. Not everyone has to stand up when they hit or be more upright. Maybe they can crouch down and they find it to be more natural to them.
It's still the holy grail of hitting is hitters with that have great timing. It's still the holy grail of hitting is hitters with that have great timing. Keston possesses it. So that's probably the first thing that I thought of when I saw Keston is this guy has got to have incredible timing.
If you're confused by his swing, don't worry. Let's break it down for a little bit. When he initially transfers his weight back, his front foot makes a little toe tap right by his back foot. Then the high leg kick goes forward, and that adds extra torque on the ball, granting those extra base hits. And with his quick hands, it's just hit after hit with Keston. It's a unique swing, yes, but it's one that he's had since he was 9 years old.
I don't necessarily think my swing is for everyone. Like it's definitely different in a unique way where it's comfortable for my body. So I mean, I've always been a big preacher on not one swing is made for every person.
This brings me to my last point. Can a hitter be biomechanically perfect? He has a perfect biomechanical swing, but yet still miss the ball. And can a hitter be biomechanically imperfect, but yet still hit the ball very good? And the answer is yes. The hitter can have a biomechanical perfect swing, textbook, and miss the ball, and yet someone else can have an imperfect swing and be a very skilled hitter. And the reason for this is the it factor. What is the it factor? Well, it has to deal with neuroscience of baseball. Understanding, trusting, and incorporating the idea of eye-to-hand coordination, meaning the eye is directing the hand, leads hitters to be successful, prolific, elite hitters. Can the biomechanics help? Absolutely. But when a prolific hitter is breaking down and struggling, it's not because of his biomechanics. Almost always is the case is the neuroscience behind it. We can correct, we can accelerate hitting development when we put the value on the brain controlling the eye and the eye directing the body. The eye directs the hand, the eye directs the elbow, the eye directs the knee. How else does the body know where to swing the bat if it doesn't get the information from the eye, which is controlled by the brain? Here's an example of Francisco Lindor missing the pitch by a lot. Are his biomechanics that bad that caused him to miss the pitch? No, it was his brain inaccurately assessing the speed of the pitch and the space that the pitch will end up in. Conversely, here is Luis Arraez, who is a very skilled hitter, almost a 300 batting average, lifting up his back foot, lunging at the pitch, improvising in the middle of the swing to do whatever it takes to keep the sweet spot of the bat to the sweet spot of the ball. Luis Arraez is demonstrating to what neuroscientists call a dynamic interceptive motor skill. Following the crowd isn't always the best. In fact, I've learned in life, when I follow Jesus Christ, I'm going to go places that the crowd will never see. So if your son is ready, if your daughter's ready, if your team is ready to learn some advanced hitting concepts, contact me to get on my schedule or check out one of our online hitting courses. I'm Dave Kirilloff, languageofhitting.com.